That's probably gonna be annoying because this is fiberglass insulating, and supremely annoying when you get it on you because it irritates your skin. Usually I would check my camera angle, but I'm not gonna do that this time, just because I don't remember why I decided not to do that, actually. Anyway, I don't believe I have any fiberglass insulating on me yet, but I know that if I get some on me, it's gonna hurt. Not in a ow, I'm gonna die way, more in a ow, why am I alive? I need to remove these portions of my flesh because it doesn't really wash out, you know? You wanna know why? Because, well, fiberglass is fibers of glass. Small, little tiny particles of glass. And glass cuts you. So it's like little microscopic cutting things. Cutting you. A friend of mine, I don't know, I think that this isn't too specific. A friend of mine got scabies, today. Or, yeah, he had to go to, like, the emergency room to find out he had scabies or something. I don't know. He has scabies. So, big ups to him. I hope that he doesn't have scabies anymore. If you don't know what scabies are, I found out today. It's like bed bugs, but for humans. They live in humans. Or something like that. It sounds not fun. So, unfortunately, I did not visit him because it's contagious. No boy. No scabies for me. I'd rather not. I actually think that I can see glass fibers shining in the flash of my camera. Yay. I love that my legs and feet are exposed right now. Anyway, that's not glass, that's just me. If you can't tell, I'm in an attic. It's really difficult to open my attic quietly. And it's like midnight because I was like, no video today. I spent like all day working on the vehicle, the BMW that I was talking about in my video where I just sat and chilled in the woods. You should check that out. It's got like so little views. I think it's called Crazy Person Talking to Himself. I sing in there. You should go see my singing. That's the thing, like, I can understand watching my videos for like 10 minutes at a time, or like 5 minutes, just because of the fact that, like, I say a lot. I do. I yap a ton. So I understand why people don't watch all the way through a lot of my videos, but there are things in there, you know? And I know that there are a couple people who do watch, like, the entire duration. And I think by the time this video goes up, because I'll post it when I'm done making it, it'll probably be past midnight. It might already be past midnight. I don't know. I wasn't actively looking at the time. The last time I looked at the time, it was like 11:30 or something. So I wasn't incorrect when I said that there'd be no video today, but also, like, just a hair past midnight isn't really tomorrow. It's like, actually, it's tomorrow. But, it's not really, though. Like, I feel like when you're splitting hairs like that, you know, it's just, it's not tomorrow. It's today. It happened within the same breadth of my consciousness, not conscience, consciousness. Hard word to say, surprisingly. Is it surprising? I don't know. Not the point. So yeah, I did work on a vehicle. You know, hung out with a friend. It was cool. Not the one that had scabies. Really, like, heart goes out to him. Hope he recovers, but no scabies from me. No, sir. I don't fuck with scabies. And I'm in an attic. Yeah. There you go. You're caught up. So, yeah. I had a couple things I wanted to say, and I kind of forgot. Okay, well, the first one that I was gonna say was I kept seeing these videos, like, on my timeline where people are talking about, like, oh, what if I had superpowers, blah, 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 and obviously, you know, I don't have superpowers for a good reason, but also, like, I wouldn't be evil with them, okay? I would be chaotic neutral at, like, very worst, you know? At worst, I would be chaotic neutral. And I probably would. That's just how I am naturally. Most of my Pathfinder characters are chaotic neutral for a reason. Occasionally, I'll step out of my comfort zone, you know? But if I was blessed with unfathomable power, I might be fucking some shit up. But I want to be, like, you know, killing people. I'd be killing people who try to kill me. But only if they were trying to kill me for any reason other than I am a being with unfathomable power. Because if they're just trying to kill me because I can't be killed, then it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of reasonable. If I have unfathomable power, you might want to take out that kind of a threat, or at least try your damnedest. Like, people are like, why do the military always attack superheroes during their origins? And it's like, they could decimate city blocks. They could, murder en masse. And who's gonna stop them exactly? If I had someone with the potential to become the most devious, diabolical person to ever live, I'm not gonna let them. Okay? Like, I don't care how many lives they could save. Humans with guns save and take lives because of the fact that all humans can have access to guns. Like, depending on your country, like, as a civilian, you can't get guns without, like, jumping through hoops in some different countries. That's not necessarily true here. I could get a gun right now. But, like, as far as the playing field goes, like, humans versus humans, you have access to similar weaponry. Of course, like, usually the military, the law enforcement, they have better weapons, usually. But that's because they're the people who are supposed to be protecting people. And so if a superhero shows up, and then all of that weaponry is, like, a lot less effective against them, well, then you have the potential for a criminal who can commit crimes so much. You have one person who could take down the entire country, who could take down the entire world, even potentially, depending on the power set, depending on the skill set of the person, you know? We barely trust each other with the weapons that we all technically have access to. Why on earth would we trust anyone with any power greater than that? If somebody could do the damage of a fucking ICBM by themselves with their hands, then maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be trying to think of how to contain that. Because if by containing them, we, keep them at bay for as long as we can, and then they break free, then now, not only do we have somebody with unfathomable power, we have somebody with unfathomable power that we pissed all the way the fuck off. So it stands to reason that those kinds of people in fictional stories have a kill on sight directive, because how on earth are you not gonna kill them on sight? Okay? You hand a gun to the average person. Now, like, I know there's a lot of good people out there, don't get me wrong, but if you are just gonna hand a gun to the average person, I don't think that, like, free will's a crazy thing, dog. I'm not sure about all that destiny shit. I feel like shit can just happen because somebody said, yeah, you know what? I feel like fucking shit up today. And so many people have that urge, I included. Although, I would be more tactful with it. I wouldn't be as, like, as directly violent. Like, people get super strength and, like, all of the shit that comes with that. Because super strength by itself is not necessarily a power. Because super strength, if you have the strength to do some crazy lifting, but you don't have the durability, then your limbs are going to absolutely shatter under all of the stuff that you can lift. You're capable of lifting it. But that's not the problem. So super strength actually comes with also super durability, super stamina, super, and if it doesn't, then you're kind of lame. And fragile. But say a superhuman, let's just say base superhuman. They can do anything humans can do better, plus they got, like, some, like, really tough skin, really armored skin. They got, like, pretty standard superhuman being. Okay? You can't shoot them, Bullets don't damage them. The first thing you do with that as an average person is you run into a bank and you fucking rob it. Who's gonna stop you? Snipers can't do shit to you. Guns can't do shit to you. Like just across the board. Cops can't do shit to you. Like, that's what a lot of people would do with superpowers. They would just fucking rob banks and shit. Like, you look into a comment section of a what if post where they're talking about what if you got superpowers. Like, a lot of them might be like, oh, I do this. A lot of them are like, yeah, these people are saying all these cool things that they might try. I'm just gonna rob banks. It's like, yeah, it's a human reaction. So why the fuck wouldn't you kill somebody on site who has superhuman abilities? Find out what they can't be killed by, and then kill them with anything else you can use. And if they can't be killed by the things you try, then you try more stuff. And only when you run out of stuff do you panic. Do you immediately submit yourself to them? And if they are a logical and calculated individual, and not somebody who really just doesn't give a fuck. Because if they're somebody who really just doesn't give a fuck, it doesn't matter if you bow down to them. You might bow down and be like, oh, great leader, and they're like, and then stomp your head into, like, stomp a head like they would stomp a pumpkin, and it just explodes. Like, there are some people like that, where you can't appease them by doing anything. You just die. And that is when you run. But don't make it obvious you're running. Like, if you're right in front of them, be like, alright, you know what? Have a nice day. Also, I think that guy over there said you was a bitch. So, I don't know. I don't know about you, but personally, I wouldn't go for that type of thing, Like, I'm not you, bro, but, like, if somebody called me a bitch, I think I'd beat their ass. And then, fucking... And then, yeah, the super-powered dumbass would go running after that guy, and then as soon as you see him start running that direction, you're gonna start backing up slowly, around the corner. Okay, run. Get in a car. Drive. Get as far away from the maniac as you possibly can. Your only goal, survive. Can you kill him? No. Can you hope to survive an encounter with him where he's set on killing you? No. So, stay away. Treat him like he's a really, really tough bear. Okay? Bears will eat your food. Bears will, be around you, You can't, if you live in an area with bears, you can't avoid them. You can kill bears. But barring that, think of him as just an unkillable bear, He might take food, money, He might take cars and shit. Okay. That's not my business. If it was my car, not my business anymore. Not my car anymore. That's his car. That's the type of shit that a lot of people would do with superpowers. Now, a standard superpower build isn't exactly what I would choose. If I was given superpowers and it was just your standard superhuman build, I'd like it, I'd be okay with it. The powers I just described where, can't be killed by current mortal weaponry, really strong, really durable, decently fast, got some amazing stamina. Yeah, that works for me. I'm not picky. I'll really take anything, to be honest. But if I had to choose, now, defined limits are really a thing, because, if you talk shapeshifting could be hypothetically the most powerful power, because depending on what you're saying that you can shapeshift into, if it's just limited to animals, existing living animals, then yeah, it's still a cool power. You still get a lot of different powers, like flight, strength, speed even, but it's nothing unfathomable. I've been saying that word a lot in this video. It's not. But if you add dragons into the mix, then that means that mythological creatures are there. Shit. Mythological creatures are available in your arsenal of things that you can transform into. It's GG's for anyone that you fight. You could turn into I say inanimate objects, but obviously you're still animate, so it would be a perfect replica of inanimate objects, depending on... Shapeshifting can either be an power, or it can be literally a godly power. It really just depends on the defined limits, and that's what I was really saying about defined limits. Another one, super speed. Or, conversely, stopping time. I think stopping time is better, because, well, obviously stopping time is better. But, okay, no, I thought that I could maybe move that so I could sit on it, but, okay, really hope that I don't regret that. Anyway, no, stopping time is obviously better than super speed, because there's no speed at which you could move, where, you can outdo stopping time. You might be able to go back in time if you run fast enough, or, yeah, just back time. But Also, wind pressure. Like, Flash, you know, the superhero, the Flash, has the power of the Speed Force, a imaginary thing that basically exempts him from the laws of physics, which saves the issues with a lot of, like, the speedster things, because any other speedster is blowing up the universe, or just the world, actually, but because of how fast, you know, they're running, it's like the wind in front of them. Yeah. I think that time stop works also on, like, I think that in a hypothetical in which you have time stop, it would work so that, like, that wouldn't be a factor, because time has stopped. It also, like, if you get too realistic with it, then that would mean you can't breathe while time is stopped. And then again, it's like, could you bring other people into the time stop with you? Like, but just the idea, the concept of stopping time, you know, in its tracks, just everybody but you is completely frozen. That is a power that can be made so much, like, amazing use with. And it's actually been quite popular now to ascribe devious intent to the power of time stop, which I don't like, because, well, obvious reasons, but also because of the fact that time stop is, in fact, an amazing power. But when you say you want to stop time, people look at you kind of funny, because it's like, what'd you stop in time for? I don't want to discuss that one too much in detail. That's weird. I'm not saying it like that, though. No, I just think that stopping time, because also, like, I mean, really, if you want to think about it, say you got somebody, like, who's trying to fight you. You stop time, you break all their bones. Like, oh no, boy, where'd your bones go, bone boy? And not bone boy, you don't got no bones, bitch. Or, like, you're gonna rob a store, you know, you stop time, you go back there, cut all the locks, open it up, take the money. Honestly, you could wear gloves, no fingerprints, no nothing, no trace of you ever even being in the store. Or you could not wear gloves, leave your fingerprints, have them baffled at how you managed to pull off that crime, and then have them come after you, and once they come after you, you pause time and kill them. No. Like, just, I don't know. It's a fun and funny power, you know? It's insane. But it's cool, you know? And then there's things like, you know, One Piece has a power system called hockey. And, like, low-key, if you think about it, though, like, it balances the brokenness of our combat system IRL, you know? Because if you think about it, right now, melee is low-key so shit, and ranged is the best. You got rocket launchers, rocket-propelled grenades, RPGs, yeah. You got fucking, like, guns. You got shotguns with fucking armor-piercing slugs, dude. That shit, insane. Like, you got all this shit for ranged attacking, ranged fighting. What you got for melee? Swords. Don't get me wrong, they're cool. I have two. In, actually, the non-existent extended cut of the video where my storage cut off, I actually did take out my second sword at the end. but you never got to see it because the video cut off. But, like, swords are cool, don't get me wrong, but you bring a sword to a gunfight and you're gonna fucking die. Knife to a gunfight, that's a common expression. Like melee weapons are cool, but when it comes to, like, and let's be realistic, because so many people are like, well, if I had a knife and I was in melee range with somebody and they had a gun, I'd still probably win. It's like, could you potentially win? Yes, because guns are worse at melee range. But if somebody has a 9mm pointed at you and you pull a knife on them, you're going to fucking die. Anyway, basically, it's unbalanced. If we had hockey, it would be pretty balanced. Guns would still work. But then also, if you had armament hockey and somebody shot a gun at you with no armament hockey, then you could grab the armament hockey-less bullet out of the air. You would probably need our observation hockey to do that. Or you could just, like, they say they shot at, like, your head. You could go full Virgo and just armament hockey your forehead. Then it flattens. Boom. Or observation hockey. You know? Then somebody shoots, you know where they're shooting, you dodge. Bitch. It's like, and also, like, hockey's difficult to master, you know? It takes training. Everybody in the One Piece verse has hockey. Not everyone has conquerors. That's a different story. But everyone in the One Piece verse has hockey. But not everybody can use it. And out of those who can use it, even fewer master it. And then there's a little middle ground between everyone who can use it and mastery, where it's like, you can use it well. Like, that would fix the divide. Because not everyone has RPGs, but not everyone has observation hockey, you know? And armament hockey and observation combined, you can start grabbing bullets out of the air as you run towards somebody and then fucking punch them hard enough to shatter their rib cage. Yeah. It would be pretty cool. And it would definitely fix the balance issues that we have. Somehow, I doubt that that's being added to the patch notes. Shit, maybe in the next update. That's the type of thing, but, like, these hypotheticals are the type of thing where that's kind of the reason I want the ability to create universes, create worlds. You know, I mentioned that in my first video. That's my deepest desire, and that's the reason. I want a world that doesn't play by the set, strict rules. Or if it does play by set, strict rules, they're going to be my set, strict rules. It's selfish, it's proud, call it whatever you want. But true adventure, with no limits. God, that's so much what I'm about. And, like, I briefly mentioned One Piece, I think really only here. I also said on the Discord, which will be linked in the description of this, that I am all caught up on One Piece, and that is technically true, story-wise. The anime, not the manga. I'm sorry. However, I do have to regretfully say that I have not watched the One Piece fan letter. Please don't kill me. I really want to. Every time I've thought to do it, I was in the middle of something, and every time I haven't. I've heard that it's phenomenal. It's a love letter to the show, and I really, really, really need to watch it. I know. I'm excited for them to come off of hiatus in May. Fuck yeah. That's also when my birthday is. My birthday's in May. Fuck yeah. So I get One Piece for my birthday. Fuck yeah. Yeah. I don't know. One Piece is just awesome because it's about true freedom and, like, what it means. And, motherfucker, if Luffy wasn't gonna be the king of the pirates, then I would be, because holy shit, I need to be free. Freer than anybody else in the world. Now, do I have a little bit more ambition for control? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to be not even ruler of universes. I don't give a shit what anyone does in the universes. I just want to create universes and then go into the universes. Have those universes look and feel just as real as this does. No real life physics. Maybe in one universe, everybody will be just as powerless as they are here. But I'll have time stop. And then wacky shit will ensue. And maybe I'll get fucking shot because somebody discovers I have time stop and they don't want wacky shit to ensue. And you know, maybe that's just how the cards get dealt. In maybe another universe, you know, it just, like, endless possibilities. Endless things I can do. Literally getting to live storybook adventures. Storybook, anime, TV show, whatever the case. Getting to live in places that have more power. Getting to live a life. Maybe it is a life of hardship and toil, and it hurts, but the end product is so great. Fiction has me enthralled. I just want to live like that. God, I hope I can live like that. I don't care what has to be accomplished. I don't care how... If there's any glimmer of hope that can happen. That I can sit in my garage. Not my actual garage, my fake garage. With fish tanks lining the walls. And I just grab one. And I just speak into it. Speak the words that give it life. And it knows what I mean. And it grows. Just a universe contained inside. And then maybe through a user-friendly interface allows me to go down to the, home planet of the people, and then after building my character select screen, I become a baby. And of course the character that I, built won't be there until I fully reach adulthood, because a baby's not just gonna look like the character you built. But maybe I could do one where it's like a D&D Pathfinder thing. Maybe I could... The possibilities of that would be endless. Infinite possibility. That, and actually, I don't think I've ever really explained that, but that is why I think imagination is almost a curse, Because my brain, my mind can come up with endless realities, places. My mind can conceive of everything, and yet this, look at this. I can't do anything. None of that can come to fruition. I could write it all down, and it could be enjoyed by millions, but what would be the point? why must we be able to dream? Why can we imagine situations, realities, so much better, even if the life that I'm living isn't better? You know, maybe one of them, I'm just like, I start out as just a really poor kid, you know, I'm scrounging for scraps, suffering, but growing and becoming stronger. I don't want a better life. I want a better reality. I want to be able to do things, have fun adventures, and sometimes you gotta start from bad places to get fun adventures, but I will never be able to warp reality with my hands. I'll never... I don't want to say I'll never. I'm not gonna have hockey or devil fruit powers, or I'm not gonna have magic or the ability to stop time here. Why can I think of a place where I can? Why can I imagine circumstances beyond my wildest dreams? Why can I imagine a place where I can do so much more? Why do I have to know the reality of my chains? I'd rather be imprisoned, shackled, but without the ability to understand the reality of my situation. My shackles, my manacles, they'd be bracelets. Oh, look at me. Handcuffs? What are you talking about? No, these are just my bracelets. I'm just chilling. What do you mean outside? There's no outside, it's just here, you know? I'm okay. This is all there is. It's all there ever could be. Ain't no point in complaining. I don't know anything different. It's kind of like Plato's cave, where the shadows on the walls are the only reality that the men inside the cave know. But why should we be able to imagine what might be beyond this cave? Why should we be able to imagine how different the situation could be? Imagination breeds creation, breeds life, and yet I think it'd be easier to face the reality of our situation if we didn't have it at all. Or maybe I just don't need it. Maybe it'd be better if I didn't have it because I'm the one who's crazy. I'm the one who, for some reason, needs to know what it's like. I'm the one, for whatever reason, that needs to live it, that needs to feel it firsthand. Dreams can't come close. What a depressing video. I know, right? Who is this guy? I don't know. Some dumbass. Yeah, you're right. I think you should just end this video. That would have been a smoother ending. I can't access my phone's volume button.